So we did the top 10 quarterbacks a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and you led that discussion, and I commented on it. We're going to flip flop now. We're going to talk about offensive linemen today. I'm going to give you my top 10 Big Ten offensive linemen heading into 2023 season and let you respond to that. Let's go through 10 through 6 first,
Okay.
and then I'll let you chime in, and then we'll do our top five. Now, here's the thing, guys. I want to prep everybody on this. It's going to be difficult to swallow. And this is where I've got to take off my scarlet and gray colored glasses. And I got to be honest with you here, okay? So here we go. Number 10 for me, let's go with Quinn Carroll, Minnesota Golden Gopher offensive lineman, 6'6, 310 pounds. He's a junior. He started his collegiate career with Notre Dame. He transferred back to his home state of Minnesota. He will be a second year starter, and he is considered a preseason second team offensive lineman by most of the magazines for the Big Ten preseason uh, I guess not all American, but Big Ten second teamer preseason. Huge man. He's a mover as far as the defensive line. He's going to give Minnesota a good chance to run the football again, and he's Minnesota's best offensive lineman. Number 9, going with Matthew Jones, Ohio State, right guard, I think is where he plays. 6'4, 312 pounds. He'll be a super senior this year, meaning he was a senior last year. He gets a COVID year. He came back. He will be a 3-year starter. He's not gotten any honors as far as any accolades for his play on the field, but he is also a preseason second team All Big Ten by Athlon Sports. Their magazine. So, and he just like Steve said, he was impressed by our interior offensive lineman. Matthew Jones is one of those guys. Let's go over to West Lafayette for number 8, Gus Hartwig, 6'5", 310 pounds, senior as well. This will be his 4th year starting for the Boilermakers. 4-year starter offensive lineman. He was a 2022 honorable mention Big Ten offensive lineman and is expected to be the best offensive lineman for Purdue this season. Steve also talked about how big the boys were in Wisconsin. They've got another one, Jack Nelson. He's 6'7", 310-pound junior. He has been a 2-time Big Ten honorable mention as a freshman and sophomore. Now he enters his junior year, and he's obviously the best lineman for Luke Fickell and the Badgers in Wisconsin. And then number 6, Chris, Isaiah Adams from Illinois, 6'5", 315-pound senior. He was a third-team Big Ten offensive lineman last year as a junior in 2022, and he's Illinois' best offensive lineman heading into this year's season. So again, 10 through 6, Quinn Carroll from Minnesota, Matthew Jones from Ohio State, Gus Hartwig from Purdue, Jack Nelson from Wisconsin, and Isaiah Adams from Illinois. Chris, your thoughts on my 6 through 10 offensive linemen in the Big Ten?
Well, we were actually pretty close, Eric. I had one different one in there than what you did. Um, but I had actually the Darius Henderson, the
Okay.
offensive tackle from that team up north in there at my 10 spot. I had Hartwig at 9. I had Matthew Jones at 8. I had Isaiah Adams at 7 and Nelson at 6.
So who did you have off the list?
The kid from your number 10 from
Oh,
Minnesota.
okay. Okay. Yeah, I just kind of felt like I needed to put someone from Minnesota in there, given how well they've done running the football in the past, and he's their best offensive lineman. And with a new quarterback and things, I think they might be run heavy offense this year, the Golden Gophers. So we might, just kind of felt like I couldn't put a fourth Wolverine on there. I couldn't swallow that.
You know what though?
It's about to get ugly.
They are one of the top offensive lines in the country for a reason, Eric. And you know, I didn't like it, but I think I had to do it.
Here we go. 5 through 1. Number 5 from that team up north, Drake Nugent. 6'1", 300-pound senior. He's a 2-time Pac-12 honorable mention at Stanford. Transferred over to the team up north, and after playing 4 years at Stanford, so he's got another year of eligibility. and he was the top offensive lineman in the transfer portal when he decided that he was going to finish his career in Ann Arbor. Number 4 for me, also up there in Ann Arbor, Trevor Keegan, 6'6", 305-pound senior. He was a first team All Big Ten in last year in 2022 as a junior, and he came back for his senior year. He could have went to the NFL and he would have been drafted, but he's coming back. Number 3 for me, Donovan Jackson, Ohio State, 6'4", 312-pound junior guard. Last year, he was also a first team All Big Ten offensive lineman in 2022, and he anchors our offensive line this season. And he is projected to be a first or second day draft pick in the NFL after this year. All right, Chris, here we go. This, as you all know, we are uncultured swine here. I'm going to try my best. At number 2 is Olu Fashanu. Fashanu. Did I get that right, Chris?
It's Olu Fashanu.
Olu Fashanu from Penn
Yes.
State. 6'6", 323
First of
pound
all,
junior.
how did we not get this guy? I mean, we. I thought Ryan Day cornered the market on our Polynesian friends.
Him and Michigan State, they seem to get a
Yeah.
few of them too. Yeah, he's a junior this year. He was a second team All Big Ten, and he was also second team All American last year as a sophomore. So a lot of people think he's the best offensive lineman as far as upside for the NFL in the Big Ten, which might be true, but I'm going to have to give the number 1 spot to the man who I hate the most. Zach Zenter from that team up north. 6'6", 315-pound senior. He was second team All Big Ten last year in second team All Big Ten as a sophomore in 2021. First team All Big Ten last year as a junior in 2022. Again, could have went to the NFL, been drafted, decides to come back again. And this guy he's a stud. I mean, I don't know how else to put it, dude. He's the one of the best, if not the best offensive lineman in the Big Ten. Gosh, I'm sick. It makes me sick to my stomach, Chris. They got 3. You have 4 of them. 4 offensive linemen in the Big Ten, our top 10 in the Big Ten. And here's the deal, guys. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm worried that our offensive line is not as good as it has been in the past. And the stinking team up north, who's beat us 2 years in a row, has some of the best starters, not only in this conference, but in the nation. And you win in the trenches.
Yeah. Well, you're absolutely right. Just going over the top 5 again. I also had Nugent at 5. I also had Keegan at 4 and Jackson at 3. I think you were right on point there. Now, I actually did have Zach Zentner at 2. Um, I do believe the upside is better for Fashuna or for Shanu rather. I think that he has actually better footwork and balance. And honestly, I've seen times where it seems to me like Zach Zentner. I don't want to say he gets a little lazy, but he can get a little lazy at times. Not finishing off plays. I think that he's not the most agile or quickest player in the world either. Which again, that's going to be something that's going to translate more in the NFL versus what it is in college because he is obviously, along with these other guys, the perfect fit for Harbaugh's type of offense. He wants to ground and pound. That's what he wants to do, and he's got the right guys to do it. Um, but I really feel like I think Fashanu is a little bit better with his feet. I think he has a little bit better hand placement, and honestly, I just feel like he has the most upside of any of the linemen out there. So that's why I've got him at 1. But I mean, I can see your argument. I can, but and maybe there was a little bit of me that just couldn't put 4 players. 4 players on the list was bad enough. Putting one of them at 1 just would have killed
It kills me
me. Yeah.
because I am a firm believer that you win football games in the trenches.
And here's something that's funny though, Eric. Do you realize he's not even one of the top 2 rated players according to the NFL? He's the 3rd best offensive lineman in the Big Ten, according to what NFL scouts are predicting as far as their ratings. Right now, he's behind Fashanu at 1 and Donovan Jackson at 2.
I I get it. But I'm not. My list isn't based on projections
Right,
in the
right,
NFL. It's based on
exactly.
who I think's the best in college football today, and he's got the accolades. Joel Klatt said this, and this is going to, I think, prove my point, and I believe this is to be true. Ohio State is built to win national championships. That team up north is built to beat Ohio State,
Yes, that's exactly right.
and you can't argue against that statement with given the results the last 2 years. Ohio State had Georgia beat. We were a field goal away from going on and winning a national championship, and we got blown out in our own house by that team up north.
Yeah,
Now they're not built to win national
no,
championships, but they're built to kick our butts. And it's
yeah,
and you know where you see that the most in that list we just made right there.
yeah, exactly.